After many years of running Haybox workshops, we thought it about time we made a video. So here it is. Enjoy.
What is a haybox? It's an insulated box, in which you place your partly cooked food. The heat held in the food and the pot completes the cooking, without any external heat input. Haybox cookers are so called, because the early versions used hay as insulation. It is also referred to as thermal, fireless, or retained heat cooking. Any food that's cooked by simmering, like stews, rice, and curries, can be haybox cooked. Haybox cooking was used during the First World War, to conserve precious fuel. It was first recorded as being used in the early 19th century, with the inventor Carl von Drais being credited with coming up with a novel design. Using a haybox can easily save up to 50% of the energy required to cook food. This is because, instead of the heat from a saucepan being lost, it is trapped by the insulation, and used to heat and cook the food. With food left cooking in a haybox, there is no need to reheat food, it is ready steaming hot, when you need it. It works like a slow cooker, without any external heat input. Sometimes, food needs to be left to simmer, on a low heat. This has to be frequently checked, and the food stirred, to prevent burning. With a haybox, there is no risk of this. The food can be left unattended, till it is needed. Slow cooking in a haybox retains much of the flavors and nutrients in food. The thickness of the insulation needs to be between 5 and 10 centimeters, depending on the quality. Cast iron, or cast aluminium pots, as shown here, are ideal for haybox cooking. It's important that the pot used has a tight-fitting lid, to reduce heat loss. Don't forget to heat the lid, along with the pot and food. The pot needs to be at least 3/4 full of food, to keep the food temperature above 70 degrees Celsius after 3 hours. Use the right size pot, for the amount of food being cooked. It's a good idea to wrap the pot in a towel before putting it into the haybox. This will help keep the lid on tight. The towel also acts as oven gloves when taking the pot out of the haybox cooker. If there is room, you can put 2 pots together in one haybox cooker. Always boil for a few minutes with the lid on. No peeping. Don't be tempted to check on the cooking by opening the haybox until you are ready to eat. While experimenting and getting familiar with haybox cooking, a thermometer will be very useful. The one shown here has a long lead, which allows the probe to be immersed in the food, while the display can be kept on top of the cooker. This table shows the difference between a well-made haybox cooker and a poorly constructed one. After 3 hours, the temperature difference between them could be as much as 16 degrees centigrade. To prevent bacterial growth, food must not be kept between 9 and 62 degrees C for more than 2 hours. In a well-constructed haybox, it will take more than 4 hours for the temperature to drop to below 65 degrees C. When food is left for longer periods, or when cooking meat, always thoroughly reheat before serving. A haybox cooker is easily made at home, using a container and some insulation. For example, a plastic crate, wicker basket, storage cube, cardboard box, or even a kitchen drawer can be used as a container. Old sleeping bags, sheep's wool, towels, pillows, dry straw or hay, scrunched up newspaper, kapok, and packaging chips are all examples of suitable insulating material. Here you can see a very simple haybox, made with items we had round the house. Large towels, sleeping bag, and a storage crate. The sleeping bag is spread out to line the inside of the crate. The towel is useful in holding the pot and lid together, providing extra insulation, as well as serving as oven gloves. It also protects the sleeping bag from spills and cooking odors. Finally, wrap the sleeping bag around the top of the pot before popping the lid on. This storage crate is big enough to hold 2 pots side by side. For example, rice and curry, or stew and potatoes. This design of haybox is popular in East Africa, where it is generally referred to as fireless cooking. You will need a large wicker basket, some colorful material, and insulation. We lined the base and sides of the basket with the insulation from the cut-up sleeping bag. A large piece of the colorful cloth is placed on top of this, with the cooking pot sat in the middle. A black ribbon is tied onto the outside over the cloth to hold it in place. The cushion to go on top is covered with the same colorful material. The finished wicker basket cooker was fun to make and looks good in any kitchen. We often put a weight on top of the cushion to keep it in place and show others that it's in use. This wooden haybox cooker can double up as a stool in a kitchen. It used scrunched-up newspaper as insulation. You can even make a haybox cooker in a spare kitchen drawer. The Wonder Bag comes in a variety of lovely colors and uses polystyrene beads for insulation. This is probably the best-known commercially available haybox. It is designed and manufactured in South Africa. The Wonderbox and Wondercube are budget haybox cookers that are available from SF Innovations. They are supplied as flat pack kits, with the customer providing the insulation. Here are a sample of dishes that have been cooked in a haybox thermal cooker. Following on are some recipes for you to try. If you would like more, have a look on the SF Innovations website. Wash the rice. Add 1½ measures of water to a measure of rice. Bring to boil in a suitable pot with the lid on. Remove from the heat and place in the haybox. The rice will be cooked perfectly in an hour, but will keep hot for up to 4 hours, if left untouched in the haybox cooker. Soak them overnight in cold water. Drain and cover with fresh water. Bring to the boil. Roll boil for 10 to 15 minutes, with the lid on. Remove from the heat and place in haybox. The chickpeas will be cooked in around 3 hours. Note that this method can be used for most dried beans. Here are the ingredients for making Boston baked beans. Heat the oil in the saucepan, and fry the onions for a few minutes, then add the garlic and stir. Add the rest of the ingredients, and bring the mixture to the boil, with the lid on. Add a little water or stock if necessary. Keep the liquid below the level of the beans, as it does not want to be too runny. Season to taste. Remove from the heat, wrap in a towel, and place in the haybox. The dish will be ready after about 2 hours, and will keep hot up to 4 hours. To summarize, haybox cooking saves energy, keeps food piping hot for hours without burning, and retains vital nutrients. Haybox cookers are simple to make, with items found around the house.
Well, hope you enjoyed that video. Do get in touch if you need any help. Happy cooking!